Good morning, everyone. We will now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku Prayer, please stand. Taka amahara ni kamsumarimasu. ガムロギカムロミノミコトモチテスメミヨヤガムイザナギノミコトツクシノギムカノタチハナノオトノアギハラニミソギハライタモ時になりませる。荒いどの狼たち、もろもろのまがごと積み汚れを、荒いたまえ、清めたまえ、とまをすことのよしを、天つかみ、国つかみ、八百万の神たちともに雨の淵駒の耳振り立ててひこしめせとかしこみもまおす弥勒を三神守りたまえ先はえたまえ弥勒を三神守りたまえ先はえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先はえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先はえたまえくんながらたまちはえませ。くんながらたまちはえませ。Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us, radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. You will now receive group Johrei.
Meishu-sama bless you.
Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teaching. Courtesy. The essence of faith is to behave in a civilized manner, extending courtesy and consideration to all. The cause of all disturbance in the world is failure to practice the common principles of courtesy and respect toward others. An ideal country, a utopia, is a place where people are courteous and observe order, where all live in harmony in God's peace and love. Since ancient times, it has been said, God is order. Indeed, this is a very important law that we should apply in every part of our lives. Throughout nature, we see how everything moves in accordance with this law of order. Think of the four seasons, for example. After winter comes spring, followed by summer, autumn, then winter again. In Japan, plum trees blossom first, then cherry trees, then wisteria, and then irises. By maintaining this sequence of birth, growth, death, and rebirth, year after year without deviation, nature teaches us the importance of following the law of order. In our daily lives, too, there is an orderly sequence that we should observe, individually tailored to guide our correct conduct and activities. Order is the way of truth. So, to violate this law puts one out of harmony with God. Ignorance or indifference to this law will not absolve someone from the consequences of negative behavior. The difficulties one experiences in a life hampered by turmoil and confusion.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the Miroku Association headquarters morning service. This morning, I have this faith experience I want to share with you from João Pedro Andrade Souza. He's from Bahia, Brazil. João Pedro is 14 years old and he received the child lock Choco in 2015. He wanted to receive the sacred focal point or Hikari, but with the onset of the pandemic and the temporary suspension of face-to-face activities in the Johrei centers, he thought it would not be possible when he was thinking of. He watched our online services, participated in the virtual studies of Meishu-sama's teachings, and performed dedications in the church at scheduled times. With other youth members, he cleaned the center's restrooms, outer room, and kitchen as a mitamamigaki, which is the dedication to cleaning our surroundings as a soul polishing. At the beginning of July, his minister, who is the center head, contacted his mother, informing that there would be a no hikari presentation ceremony that month. João Pedro became very surprised and happy. At the same time, he worried a little as the minister instructed that he should strive to offer the membership donation without completely depending on his mother, in order to insert his own spirit in this preparation. Thus, he decided to sell brigadeiros. Is a homemade sweet that some classify belonging to the mini brownies family. So to sell brigadeiros, as it is an easy product to make and sell. He prepared everything himself as he wanted to put all his feelings into the making of these sweets. To make the sales, he used a mask, gloves, and sanitized everything. He thought it would have more effect if he went door to door. And for the first week, he was blessed to sell all his brigadeiros. He faced many challenges, such as getting tired of some people ignoring him. At times, he got discouraged and wanted to give up. However, the desire to receive the Ohikari was greater, and he continued to strive. On the day before the Ohikari presentation ceremony, he reached the amount that he had thought of for the donation and became very happy and proud of himself. Finally, on July 2020, he was given the great permission to receive the sacred focal point in a very moving ceremony for him. With this experience, he learned that we must never give up on our dreams, and that when we strive to accomplish something useful for others, God gives us strength and conditions to achieve it. João Pedro's commitment is to bring the light of Johrei to friends, family, and as many people as possible. He's very thankful to God, Meishu-sama, and his ancestors for the permission to become a member, as well as the guidance of his minister. Because if not for that, he would not have lived this experience, which made him appreciate and give much more value to his Ohikari. And I also want to share another experience. This one is from Valmir Mendes de Souza Jr. He's from the Souza Norte Johrei Center in Natal, also from Brazil. In March of last year, when social isolation was established due to the pandemic, Valmir was very concerned about his financial situation. He owns a bakery, and yields have dropped a lot. The profit has been low for months. Furthermore, his debts made it impossible for him to meet his financial obligations. He used to have an irritable temper and would get angry when situations were not according to his own reasoning. He felt exhausted, work consumed him, and he ended up putting aside serving God and Meishu-sama. In May 2020, he called his minister and told her what was going on. Valmir was guided to express gratitude for his purification so that with a grateful heart he could communicate with God. Also to attend our daily online services and to study the teachings. Don't incur resentment and control your ego. You should also reflect on which destructive feelings was responsible for causing his unhappiness. He began with the practice of expressing gratitude for his difficulties, and he confesses that it was not easy for him to put that into practice. At the same time, he performed the other practices he was guided to. Upon a deep reflection, he realized how self-centered he was. Thus, wanting to be useful, he started to dedicate to supporting families by filling out digital forms these families needed and whatever else was necessary. He intensified giving monetary dedications in order to clear his spiritual clouds. A month later, he felt lighter and saw everything clearly. His mood changed as he became calmer and more cheerful. At the same time, there was an increase in his income as sales volume increased significantly. He learned that purification is God's love to clear our spiritual clouds, and how much expressing gratitude in any circumstances brings us closer to God and slows down our purification. He currently gives service as a family assistant in the administrative sector of the Johrei Center, as well as MC for the monthly services. Valmir is very thankful to God and Meishu-sama for the opportunity to elevate spiritually through serving the divine word. Thank you very much for attending this morning service, for listening to these wonderful faith experiences. For those who live in the United States, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, one of, if not the most significant holiday of the year. So I wish you a very blessed Thanksgiving. Thank you very much.
This brings to a conclusion of our morning service. Thank you everyone for joining us and have a blessed day.